Hello! Today I want to talk about Bescods. Let's start with the basic information you probably already know if you have ever played Bescods. So our laboratories provides coins income comparing to the trading stations which provide knowledge income. That's the unique ability which only Bescods have. In other fractions this is swiped vice versa. Also, we are building Planetary Institute from the laboratory, yes, so it's swapped. And we are building Academy from the trading station. Our academies are the standard one, so you're getting tech, and left one provides to knowledge, right one provides a QIC. Our Planetary Institute provides an ability to get additional power on our home planets. So it means that mine will be counted as 2 energy, trading station and laboratories as 3, and academies and Planetary Institute as 4, which is really handy for building federations. And also we have a fraction ability which allows us to progress once per round to progress on the technologist track. But we should progress on the lowest technologist track, and if there are multiple, then we can progress on any of them. So saying that, we can immediately see that Bescods has a unique situation compared to other fractions. We have less tax that we can pick, our natural tax, which we can pick from building like our buildings and not from the 4 QIC action. The maximum amount of technologies that we can pick is 6, so we can build 3 laboratories plus 1 laboratory after building a Planetary Institute. That's 4, that's 5, and that's 6. However, I wouldn't say that it's reliable to expect that you will be able to get all these 6 techs. Usually it's quite difficult to build all laboratories and all of your academies in one game. Of course, that depends on the game, and sometimes it's possible, but I would say that it's better to rely that you will get like 5 techs in the game, or even less, like depending on the game, but 5 techs is more or less reliable, I would say, 5 natural techs. And that's not too much. For example, we definitely want to get a 7 points, yes, so that leaves us with 4 techs. If we start with the laboratory or with the academy, we want to start with an income tech, so that leaves us with 3 techs. And probably depending on your game plan and how you're playing, you would want to pick either 3 VP per green planet, either planet types, if you're going Gaia or if you're going up on the Gaia or on the terraforming track. So that leaves us with 2 techs. And if you want to take some advanced tech, which also sometimes possible, that leaves us with even less techs. So saying that, it's quite important to understand and to prepare and to think about like what techs are going to pick like really wisely, because picking a wrong tech might end up like really badly for you. You might not be able to get like the proper tech later. So think about it and plan accordingly. Usually when you're playing Bescods, it is no more than 2 income techs. Sometimes I've seen games with the 3 income techs, but those are quite rare, and I would say that usually you are getting 2 income techs, in some scenarios even 1 income tech, and after that you are starting to take like other technologies which don't provide to you income per round. Also for Bescods, it is really nice to have even amount of knowledge at the start of your turn. And let me describe to you like what possibilities do we have, like having that amount of knowledge. Let's say you have 2 knowledge at the start of your turn. Then you can progress 1 with your fraction ability. After getting some charges, you might buy 2 knowledge from the table. That gives you 4 knowledge in total, so you can progress 1 more step. And after building, let's say, laboratory, you can push this 1 step further, like so, even better. The same is true when you have 4 knowledge. The only difference, you don't need to buy 2 knowledge from the board, so you are free to spend your power on some other actions. So you can just progress once with your fraction ability, and what happens? Yeah, once and twice with the 4 knowledge. It is quite usual to make a mistake and first spend your knowledge, but then forgetting that you will need like to use your fraction ability later. That's really important. Try not to do that. Happened with me multiple times. Hopefully will not happen again. Also, 6 knowledge. It is what allows you to have like 6 knowledge. Yeah, so first of all, this 4 knowledge, it allows you to reach the level 3 of some of the tracks, yeah? It means that you can reach terraforming, so you can start terraforming, or you can reach Gaia and be able to place 2 Gaia formers in the round. And that's a great advantage, and it can allow you to to have like great flexibility of what you want to do and what you want to do like in that specific round. With other fractions, except of maybe Firax, it's usually not possible, and you have to plan like a little bit accordingly, like 2 rounds in future. But with Bescods, it's possible even in 1 round. But yeah, regarding 6 coins, 6 knowledge, basically the same logic applies. But if we can buy 2 knowledge from the table, then we have like 8 knowledge, which allows us to progress even further to the level 4 of any of the tracks. So you are making 1 step with your ability, you are making 2 steps with your knowledge, you're building laboratory, and you are on the level 4 of navigation, so you can place lots of mines, for example. What else we can say? Also, because we have to make a step on the lowest tracks, in the end you will end up in a situation when you will be at least on a step 1 of any of your tracks. So it means that you will definitely be at step 1 of the economy and knowledge. And because we will anyway end up here, it's wise to start with the progression on the economy or knowledge. This is like really common scenario for Bescods. And if we are playing with the laboratories, we are a little bit slow on reaching like the level 4 of the tracks. So if you see that you will have a competition on the science track, that's a real problem for Bescods. That's one of your weakest points when you're playing with the laboratories opening. And laboratories, it is, I would say, 90 or 95% of the cases how you're playing Bescods, how you start with them. Usually, if you have no competition on the science track, you can end up on having like lots of points, like 10 steps on the tracks. It's quite common to see something like that when you're playing Bescods. You have 2 tracks, where you didn't waste your knowledge to progress further, and you are staying there like on the level 1. And the rest, like the rest of the tracks, you are boosting as much as possible. So here we have like 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, like 10 steps, and we will score like 40 points for the knowledge, which is like really good. If you're not playing Gaia in this specific game, the same might be applicable. So you're going up on the terraforming track, you leave your Gaia and economy like on the level 1, and like everything is nice. Yeah. However, like what is the problem with the knowledge competition? So in that, like I don't know like how exactly it's happening in the game, yeah, but for example, this step on the knowledge track gives to us like 9 knowledge, and we can progress 2 times on the QIC track. If somebody else is taking that for any reason, and like I don't know, they were able to build a federation early, or like in the last round they decided to take it like in the first action, so you now have like less knowledge, and usually we are progressing on the QIC track as the last one. So it means that you might not be able to reach these 2 additional QICs, which in the end of the game gives to you like either points from QIC track, but probably no. Instead, you will be just using it either as an option to get a 4 QIC action to take some technology. So this is really important, and if you see that it doesn't happen, then Bescods has a disadvantage. There are some possibilities how to handle that, but they're not, I would say, reliable, and you cannot execute them in any random game. So pay attention on science competition. You don't want to have it. You want to be the only one on the science track. Now let's talk about boosters. So there are 8 boosters, and there are some of them which are very valuable for us. So as we discussed like on the previous slides, that we like to have the even amount of knowledge. We can get this additional knowledge if we have like the odd amount. We can get it like from the booster tags. It is either 1 or 1 knowledge, or either 3 victory points and knowledge from the ballatories. So, and the second booster is also given to us victory points. We like to have like 3 laboratories pretty early compared to other fractions, because for us laboratories are given to us coins, so we can build more structures. For other fractions that doesn't work, so we can start scoring points, scoring like 9 points even like in the 3rd round, while other fractions cannot do that. So let's remove those 2. Yeah, now, so those 2 boosters, we do really like to have them when we are playing Bescods. What we don't like to see, it is big buildings. Usually you're not building your planetary institute early, and even if you will for some reason build it early, yeah, you will not have enough resources to build an academy. So maximum you will be able to score like just 4 points until the late rounds, like round 5 or 6. While other fractions, they can easily open with the academy, follow up with the planetary institute, and start scoring points, I don't know, probably from the 3rd round, or even from the 2nd round, like if you're playing, for example, Itars or Ivits. Also, as a Bescods, if we are focusing on building our economy, we don't really build many trading station in like when we start the game, like in the early rounds. because those provides to us knowledge, sacrificing ore, so we cannot like build more. So I would say we definitely don't like to see big buildings, and we are like more or less okay, but also a little bit in a disadvantage compared to other fractions with that booster tile. The rest of the tiles, they're all situational. There is, I can't say like that this one is bad for Bescods or this one is good. You can find value from any of them, and there is not too much to say apart from that. Final scorings. There are 6 different final scorings, and I can only say about the planet types. The planet types are bad for Bescods because they give additional incentive to the blue and yellow fractions to get like 2D action and to terraform our home planet. We want to get like as many home planets as possible, because after building Planetary Institute, they gives to us more power to form federations. So we don't like that final scoring. Regarding the rest of the final scorings, I would say that all of them are fine, except yeah, all of them are fine, and you can find them useful, and you can plan your game accordingly to any of those. The only point I want to add is like when there is a structures and federations, and you open with the academy, you probably have a little disadvantage comparing to opening with the laboratories. So, but because we are not really opening usually with the academy, that's not a big deal. So I would say that all of them are more or less equal in terms of usefulness for us. Regarding round scorings, quite difficult to say something about that in the early rounds, except like the academy opening we will discuss later. But I would say we can ignore like the first 3 rounds, as usually in the first rounds we are building economy, so that doesn't really matter. What we really like to see in the final scorings and why. So first of all, we would be happy to see victory points for progressing on the technologies tracks, especially if you don't have a competition on the science track. You will easily score like lots of points from that in the final round. So we also are really happy to see something like federations in the last round, for similar reasons. As a Bescods, if we have decided to build our Planetary Institute in the last round, that's totally fine. We are not forced to do it earlier. And we can delay building federations until the last round. We might lose some useful federations, but we can build our economy. We don't need to spend our tokens, which might be tricky, like if you are playing Gaia, for example. And we can get like 20 points from the federations easily. What we also like to see in the final rounds, I would say probably round 6 for Bescods is the easiest one to discuss. But like most of those ideas you can relate like to the round 5, for example. So big buildings in the final round is perfect for us, as we can delay building them, build them in the last round, and score points. Other fractions, they usually tend to build those earlier. And of course, like the rest, like Gaia, for example, or trading stations or mines, everything else, like even terraforming, all of them are fine. You will have to plan your game accordingly, of course, but like if you see that nobody is going up on the Gaia and you have Gaia forming rounds, that's really good. We can build like trading stations in the 5 round or round 6. That's also fine. If we are playing terraforming game with Bescods, like we can terraform. So everything else is more or less okay. And of course we can build mines in the late rounds. Or like in round 4, probably round 4 even better, because that's round 4 or 5. Because in that round we have already built our economy and we can like start getting points. So I would say, yeah, that the only thing which we really like in round 6 will be any of those 3 technologies, 3 round scorings. We will be able to score lots of points with them. Now let's take a look in the real game, which have been played on Board Game Arena. I picked a game from the Steven Onyx, who has like a great experience and a really strong player with the Bescods. Let's see one of the possible openings and let's discuss it. So we are playing against Etars, against Nevlas, but that doesn't really matter for us. We are focusing on the opening. So there are like really nice spot at the right, yeah, because we can reach our home planet with the QIC jump. So we definitely want to place here, and this spot in the middle is also great, as it gives to us access to the green planet without a jump. So as you can notice, we have 2 of those booster tiles which we discussed earlier. This is a Gaia forming game, yeah, with the planet types Gaia and Gaia forming, so we would definitely want to go Gaia later this game. Or not definitely, I mean that's one of the options. We can focus on the planet types, for example. So Stevie decided to take 1 or 1 knowledge, and now we have 2 knowledge at the start of the round. So for that opening, we would like to buy 2 knowledge from the table. This is achievable if we are getting charges, or if we are getting, let's say, charge for action, and we can sacrifice 2 tokens, which we don't want to do in the Gaia forming game. Or at least we would prefer to avoid doing that. So we went 2 steps up on the knowledge track, and we had like 2 charges, so now we have 2 power tokens in the bowl 3, and we took the charge for action, charge for technology, so we can charge and we can buy 2 knowledge from the table. Let's see, yeah, we are doing that. Why this is this allows us to spend for knowledge to went up on the knowledge track, yeah, as we started to boost it. So white player decided to take our planet, but we have another one close to us. So, and we went up on the knowledge level 3. So we are ending this round with the laboratory, 2 mines, and knowledge tree, which is quite nice. So let's see what will happen in the next round. Yeah, first let's stop here. Let's discuss. Let's say we don't have this booster tile with the additional knowledge. It means that we will start with the 3 knowledge at the start of the round, which might be okay. Like, I don't know like the exact situation, but we definitely try to tend to end up with the 4 knowledge. So to achieve that, we can control it by building a trading station. With that trading station, we will lose 1 ore income, so we will have like 2 ore at the start of the round. So if we would like to follow up with the second laboratory, we would need to find the additional ore, but that's usually not a problem. You can either take it from the booster tiles, either you can buy it from the table, either you can just convert it manually. In that game, we don't need to do that. We can just take laboratories. We will have sweet for knowledge at the start of the round, and we can progress from here. So let's see how the second round will follow up. So we are charging our tokens to the bowl 3. We are fully charged, so it's time to buy something from the table. Stevie decided to buy ore. And looks like we are following up with the economy, yes? So we will probably build something, build a laboratory, which will boost our economy track, eco track. Or the other option, I don't think that we are going Gaia at the moment. However, we have 2 tokens. Okay, looks like, like there is a great flexibility with what you can do with Bescods. In this game, we, like after first 2 rounds, we boosted knowledge and eco, and we progress with that. In the other game, you might want to start pushing your Gaia track immediately, or the other option, you might want to go up on the navigation track and you can start building mines if you have available planet types around you. So different possibilities. In that game it will be a laboratory, but other option was just to go 2 steps up on the navigation and spread the mines. Here, our laboratory also gives to us 6 additional points, so there is no point to avoid building it. And also there are not so many planets around us to achieve what we want. I think, let's see the end of that round, just to see out of curiosity what will be the tech that will be picked. Also, we will have 3 knowledge, so we might want to push up our knowledge track again, so we wouldn't need to think about our knowledge income later. Let's see what will be the tech. The tech is 3 VP per Gaia, and we are on the level 4 of the knowledge track. I think here so we didn't get the income tech. However, if we wanted to get for knowledge income, and we would want to later get this 3 VP per Gaia, we would be forced to get this tech, and we can only push the useful track that we can push at the moment will be only economy, because we would need to have a free step on the science track later. Let's finish here. I think that greatly shows to us this opening, and maybe we will talk about a couple of 2 other openings. Now let's take a look into slightly other opening, and let's talk about the difference here. What are the benefits and the downsides of that, when it might be useful. So here we again playing the Bescods. I picked Wuwu to have a great example for that game. We also have our favorite booster tiles for Bescods, which is quite handy. And we have like 2 places where we can have a cheap laboratory, cheap trading station. So here Xenos took 1 ore, 1 knowledge, and we need to adapt. So we've took a big buildings. Big buildings will provide to us points in the second round, so we need to take that into account. But yeah, like, let's just see what happens, and let's talk about that. We are almost charged to the bowl, like fully to the bowl 3. So we can buy something from the table, for example, ore, yeah, which is quite popular to buy. There is no point to buy knowledge from the table as we don't have an even amount of knowledge. It doesn't help to us much. I mean, we will just have like additional knowledge. So we bought 2 ore from the table, and let's see what Vuvu is going to do. We are taking all charges. We are greedy for charges as usual at the start of any Gaia Project game. So we went up on the knowledge track. And we got like even more charges from the Lancets. And as you can see, we've built a second trading station. That's a sign that we are going to start with the 2 laboratories. Let's see, so we took charge for action, we went up on the terraforming track, and now we have enough ore to build a second laboratory and even a mine. So we've charged. We can build laboratory. We can take another income tech. Yeah, let's see. We did that. And we have enough coins to take another planet. And yeah, I think now we need to pick a tile. Can you guess like which one will be taken by the Bescod player? Yeah, like one of those. To have like even amount of knowledge. So what's the difference with that opening comparing to just 1 laboratory? First of all, we have 2 income tax, which is handy. We have like more coins income comparing to the previous opening. And seems like almost everything is better except we have a step in a terraforming track. That might be a problem or might not be a problem. That depends on the situation, on your game plan, etc, etc. But in general, that's quite okayish. For that opening, we had to have like lots of charges. Yeah, so you cannot execute it without enough charges, without buying 2 ore from the table. So yeah, I mean, I also have seen some openings when the player ended up just with the 2 laboratories in the end. So yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. You can play like that. It works, and it gives to you like really good amount of income at the start of the game. And now let's see an example of an academy opening. So it's almost the perfect situation for the academy, but not ideal. So as you can see, we are playing Bescods in this game. I took a game from the Xavier. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And in this game, we don't have a booster tile for for laboratories, but we have a boosted tile for big buildings. Also in the first round we have 5 victory points for building a big building, and ETARs allowed us to pick this boosted tile. So why not to build an academy in the first round? Everything seems really handy in those terms. So we need to have like 4 power tokens in the bowl too. Here it was a little bit risky. Yeah, so we decided to charge ETARs. Now ETARs has 8 tokens in the bowl too, so ETARs can buy ore from the table. I think I would prefer just to sacrifice one power token to be able to buy 2 ore from the table by myself, but here ETARs decided to pick a white planet, which is fantastic for us. So we can buy 2 ore from the table. Oh, that was unfortunate. Instead of ETARs, Taklons decided to buy 2 ore, so we are in the same situation as we were before. So we are going up on the knowledge track. However, yeah, we've got enough charges to manually convert 6 power tokens to be able to get like 7 ore. And I guess that's what we are doing here. So we are building academy, and we are going up on the knowledge track. So I think in this game we had to go up on the knowledge track because other techs, we didn't have an income tech to push the economy. Otherwise we would prefer to go up on the eco track, as academy gives to us like 2 knowledge, yeah, and we are a bit short of on coins comparing to the laboratory opening. And we have enough power charge to be able to build a mine. So in the end of this round we have academy and 2 mines, which is quite good. So we were able to charge again, and let's see how we will build a mine. Yep, we did that. So that was the academy opening. You need to be careful with the academy opening. You will have a little bit less, like not a little, but you will have significantly less coins income, like during your first rounds, or like first round. You will have more knowledge, so in theory you can balance it up with the right techs to have like more income of coins rather than knowledge, and vice versa, but just need to be like manually managed, carefully managed. That was the last opening I want to show you, and now let's go back to see my thoughts about the academy opening. It is more popular in the Gaia Project community to play with laboratories. I think it's just a little bit easier to manage. You have like more coins, so you can build more structures, etc, etc. But let's talk about the academy opening and when it's like the perfect situation to do that. I think the perfect situation would be to start with the academy if you don't have this booster tile which allows you to score points from the laboratories, but you have a booster tile to score points from the big buildings. Also, when you have big buildings in the first round and you were able to grab this booster tile, So that's fantastic. Like you're not sacrificing anything in your income, but you're getting like 9 points in the first round. Like, why not? Sounds fantastic. Also, it might be useful like to do that in the specific scenario of placing tax on the technologist tracks. And for example, that might be a perfect scenario. Yeah, so we don't have a tag which can move us up on the knowledge track, but we have a tag which can move us on the economy track, and this is for coins tag. That's really important, because if that would be something like that, that's completely different scenario, and we can probably start with the laboratory like completely fine. But if we have only for coins tag which can boost the economy, after building a lab and going up on the eco track, we will have a huge income of coins. So we will have 3 from the laboratory, 2 from eco, and 4 from the tech. So it will be 9 coins income, comparing to our ore income, which is like just for ore, not too much. I mean, right now it feels more or less okay, but imagine like what will happen when you build a second lab, and that's probably what will happen, because it's much more difficult to build an academy later. Like, still possible, but a little bit more difficult. But if you start with the academy opening, that seems like a really, really nice scenario. You have good coins income, you have eco 2, and that allows you to build, like, to have like multiple options in the round 2, like what you want to do. You can either build a laboratory and push your knowledge track. You can either build a laboratory and push your eco track. Let me duplicate it. So yeah, or the other option, you can, depending on the situation, yeah, like if you have like in this scenario, we would need to find additional knowledge if we want to make 2 steps on other tracks, for example, on the navigation. But if you'll find it, you can, for example, build many mines in the second round if the board works for you. So like different options. Yeah, so I would say that's the best scenario to open with the academy. However, yeah, like sometimes we don't have this best scenario, as you just seen like in the previous game, and opening with the academy still works, even if you're going up like on the knowledge track. And I think the last opening, which we didn't talk about, you can try to find games by yourself. But in the first round, you're starting with the laboratory, and you're making 2 steps on the navigation track, and you're building mines, ending with something like laboratory and 4 mines, something like that. That's valuable. You can follow up in the second round with progressing back on the knowledge or on the economy track. Usually it's knowledge. When we are playing with the laboratories, we are not struggling with the coins. Instead, we have problems with the knowledge, so that's why we are going up on the knowledge track. Yeah, so Bescods are really flexible. They can do multiple options. They have like different paths how to play. They require clever, careful management of your steps in the tracks. That's the most important part. Top of knowledge, it's the weakest point. Oh yeah, by the way, the point which I forgot to say about. When you open with the academy, that can save you from the competition or on the knowledge track, on the science track. Because you will have enough, like more or less enough knowledge to be able to progress on the different tracks, to score lots of points, and you don't need to get the level 5 of the science track. So that also might be a good idea to consider opening with the left academy. So closing notes. First, I want to say thank you for those players. All of them helped me with discussions about Bescods, like when would you want to open with the academy, like what are the weakest traits and what are the strongest traits for Bescods. Yeah, thank you all of you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you're still watching that video, I have a bonus for you, funny bonus. So opening for Bescods in the first round with Planetary Institute. Is it possible or not? And I have a game, I will share a link in the description, where the player opened with the Planetary Institute in the first round and was able to win this game. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and see you later.